Pandarosh presents A Family Memory by Dr. Mounir. At the bustling central train station filled with travelers, Magda and her 3 children hurried to catch the train to Alexandria.
Come on, kids! Hurry up! We'll miss the train!
Okay, Mom, but the bags are really heavy.
Despite Magda's attempts to hide the marks of time by wearing elegant, youthful black clothes, the white strands of hair peeking out from under her headscarf revealed her true age. She had recently entered her 6th decade. Her muscular teenage son carried the family bags, while her 2 European-looking daughters walked on either side of her, holding her hands tightly as if they were little girls, not young women in the prime. Magda and her children boarded the first-class car. After a few minutes, the train started moving.
Thank God. We called the Alexandria train at the last moment.
Don't worry, Jamila. We'll get there at least 3 hours before the graduation ceremony.
Does that mean we'll have time to buy the dress? Of course. The most beautiful dress for the most beautiful Jamila.
Love you, Mom.
All this running and trouble just to make it to Jamila's ceremony? We could have stayed in the village for another couple of days, and she could have gone alone. Or not at all. It's just a graduation, not an engagement party.
Well, in my opinion, her graduation ceremony is more important than her engagement party.
Why?
Because her success and happiness, and your sister Samira's too, are more important to me than just getting married and having kids.
Oh, really? And what about me?
You should get married and give me a break.
This kind, loving nature was not new to Magda, despite the strength and toughness her work as a civil engineer had given her in her youth. This toughness had made her postpone thoughts of marriage and motherhood until her mid-30s, which had greatly worried her mother.
Magda, you're over 35. How long will you keep rejecting all the suitors? We live in a village, not a city. People here talk.
What people should we fear? Your daughter is an engineer and successful in her work. Forget about that all talk.
Your work with laborers and contractors has made you forget that you are a woman. I'm afraid time will pass and you'll end up alone after I die. Your brother Abdullah won't have time for you. He has his own family to care for.
Okay, Mom. Have I found anyone suitable and not married them?
Despite Magda's strong personality, she couldn't withstand her family's pressure for long.
Look, Magda, this is your last chance, and may God help you if you refuse.
But he was married before.
So what? That's not a flaw. Selim is one of the most famous lawyers in town. Besides, he's very rich and well-mannered. What more could you want? And your brother made sure he promised to give you a wedding in the biggest hotel in Alexandria.
Magda was forced to marry Selim. The wedding was magnificent, attended by the highest social circles and featuring the most famous singer in Egypt. The hall was filled with relatives from both their small rural town. The newlyweds sat in their designated place at the head of the grand hall, loud with music and celebration. But Selim was in another world, lost in heavy memories. He remembered his first marriage to a girl from high-class family of Turkish descent.
How could you remarry after everything that had happened in your first marriage, Salim? 10 years of war ended in the worst way. Why are you so late? It's past midnight and you didn't answer your phone.
So what? You need to stop thinking like a villager. You are in Cairo now and married to a woman from one of the most prestigious families. You need to live up to her level and stop these strange ideas in your head.
Strange ideas? If I'm so awful, why did you marry me? Oh, right, because of my money.
Good that you know.
After struggling with his memories for a few minutes, Salim returned to his wedding with the young engineer. He noticed her nervousness.
I know if you were younger, you wouldn't have married a divorced man.
Salim held Magda's hand with his rough hand. Accustomed to hard work since childhood, she smiled at him, hiding her anxiety.
I know. Marrying you won't be easy or as perfect as everyone thinks. God give you strength to make you happy.
Magda looked around for two little girls and found them sitting in a secluded part of the hall. Silently sad, she immediately left her seat and approached them, hindered by her long white wedding dress.
Why are you sad?
Neither girl answered. Magda took their hands tenderly and led them to their father's side. Salim's eyes filled with tears when he saw them.
Looks like you made the right choice this time, Salim.
Salim remembered when he rushed to a police station after receiving late-night call from the duty officer, asking him to come immediately. He found his two little daughters sitting on a wooden bench, their faces turned pale from constant crying.
Jamila, Samira, what's wrong? Officer, why are my daughters here?
Their mother, Mrs. Salma Rostum, brought them and filed a report giving up their custody, asking us to hand them over to you.
The blow from his wife was harsh on his weak heart after she abandoned their daughters in such an inhuman way. Salim took his daughters, and as they left the police station, he started asking them what happened.
Where did your mother go?
Mom brought us here and left. Mom married Uncle Kamal, and I heard him say they're traveling abroad together and can't take us with them.
The wedding ended, and the groom took his bride in his yellow car decorated with colorful ribbons, driven by dark-skinned young men of Nubian descent.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you, Muhammad. Magda, you're the first person to ride this car. It's a brand new Mercedes in a unique yellow color, the only one in Alexandria, and it's my gift to you for our wedding.
The driver took them to a villa in one of Alexandria's upscale neighborhoods, where Magda began her journey with this wounded family. After a year, Salim was pleading a famous case at the High Court of Justice.
Your Honor, esteemed judges. Someone call an ambulance, quickly!
What happened?
He just got married
Is he
recently.
dead?
No.
His eloquent tongue stumbled as he felt a severe pain in his chest and suddenly collapsed. Salim departed suddenly, leaving Magda a widow. After just 1 year of marriage, people wondered about the fate of the two little girls. Many believed they would surely be sent to their mother, the prestigious lady of noble lineage. The train approached its destination, and Magda saw her current reflection in the train window, which had turned into a mirror. She noticed the wrinkles of her face, which had appeared after all those years since her young husband's death and the birth of their son, Wali. Magda snapped out of her reverie at the sound of the train's final stop.
Come on, kids. The train has arrived.
The son carried the family's bag, while the mother held the hands of the two young women tightly, as she always did. They found the same Nubian driver waiting for them outside the station with the same yellow Mercedes. Magda, her son Wali, and his sister Jamila and Samira had just returned from a quick trip to Cairo to buy necessities for Jamila's graduation party. Magda, the engineer, continued her life's journey with the two orphans abandoned by their cruel mother, a lady of noble heritage. See you soon with other writings for Dr. Amr Mounir. Actors Adham RB, Mariam Hani, translating and language supervisor Adham RB, narrating and directing Khalid Mahgoub, editing and art direction Mariam Hani, sound engineering Tamer Yahya, international distribution Sandos Tamer, general supervision Wael Atta, production manager Rasha Yahya, direction Khalid Mahgoub. Best regards with Pandarosh.